So hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Nina Muthoni. This is whereby guys we don't only talk about things that are really affecting us as a generation, as a youth, but things that are also affecting us as a nation. So today I'll be discussing on how most of us are working in very toxic places, and not only that, but whereby we are just caging ourselves in places that we are not even appreciated for. As women, as a man, I know personally, I have worked in those kind of places, and it's not the first time that I have felt like I needed to talk about this. But I just felt like most of us as young people are really like taking that step of really like working and finding something to do to create ourselves and really to keep us busy. But not only that, but we are really working in a place that we feel like we are somehow being treated like we are not humans. And for me, personally, the place that I used to work on, I used to be like, I was the youngest, and I was like, I think that is happening, or giving an example of a bad thing. They would say like, oh yeah, like her, you can ask her, that age, that and that and that, and I could feel like, I hope you understand that, and I could feel like, okay, hold on, am I could tell myself in the inside, and I feel like maybe that's supposed to happen because I'm the youngest there, and whenever they give bad examples of something, I will be pointed out, and I will feel very terrible and very bad, but I couldn't speak up. Why? First of all, that's your job. That's not your home, where you say, oh my god, you have done that and that and that, oh my god, you have made me feel this and this, oh my god, that's not right. This is a workplace whereby you're getting paid. No one is there to tell you that you're sorry, or I am sorry that I have done wrong, or no one is there to tell you that this and that is bad, or this and that is bad. Most of the workplaces that we work on are places that most of our workmates would really love if we could just go and really like leave them so that I can take your salary. Honestly, this is something that I have dealt with. This is something that I have faced. This is something that I have really like close with, and feeling that you're not supposed to speak up or say anything on that matter, because I could really feel terribly hurt, and I couldn't say anything over, so that in quotes that's not that's not what happens in our age or any of that. But I could just like laugh or giggle or just say, oh, that really happens, and I'm like, okay, that's the end of the topic. But for me, I could be left with the sky and say that um this is something that is hurting me. I couldn't go to the boss, first of all, because I felt like I am the only one. When you're fighting alone, or when you're standing up for people and you're just like there, they're not supporting you for anything. I was not the only one who was getting hurt. A lot of them that we were working with, they were also getting hurt and all of that. But I could just stand alone and just say that, oh, this and this is happening in this kind of a company, and there's something that needs to be changed and all of that. But I couldn't do so because when you're working with more than maybe 50 people and you're just the only one who's speaking up, the boss, oh, honestly, this something that happens, the boss will be like, okay, you're so dramatic. Oh, you are so dramatic, oh, you're a drama queen, oh, that and that and that. But I didn't want that. I didn't really want that. I just wanted to do what I came there to do, get my salary, move on with life, have a good life. And being a young person working in a very higher ground, and you're just like there, holding on your ground for those people who are really like making you feel like you're not supposed to be there. It's so hard. I think for those bosses who are just standing there, um, and those places that women are being assaulted, being treated horribly, being criticized, body shamed, judged for who they are, whatever they were, that you're too old and you're working this kind of an environment. Oh my god, you're too young to be knowing that and that, or you're too skinny to be wearing this and this in an office. I think that's something that has been happening a lot. Working in toxic places whereby you yourself, you're not comfortable when you're working, you're not really yourself when you're doing that and that, because you're really like you're really having that moment of your life whereby, oh my god, I am going to work, and you're scared of going to that kind of a job. And you can imagine how much you sacrifice into that job. Maybe you have a baby or a family that you have to take care of, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna leave this and this and put them aside so my boss won't fire me, so that job won't stop or won't have any complications, and give my best to that business because you love it. But where you're working, are you really 100% comfortable with that job? Every time that you have sacrificed all these kind of things, and you're just there trying to make someone's dream go to a higher level, but they're not appreciating that, and it's something that um need to be dealt with. And we have seen so many femicide happening in workplaces. You find that woman who have been working for more than 10 years in a company, being treated like she doesn't deserve to be working there, and they make her feel like maybe she is too old for that kind of job. But you forget she has been working for that company, working for that place, working for that job for maybe all those years, and sacrificing so much to what she has been building into that business. But this kind of femicide that are happening in these workplaces, this kind of ignorance, this kind of body shame that is really happening in those kind of places, or any other companies that has really been treating women that way, and most of those wenye wameandika, they, I don't think whether that's something to be funny about, and just like stay cool with that, or chill out and say maybe, this just for work, maybe tomorrow will be a different, or maybe the day after no, that's not something that we stop and we say that maybe that's okay. This is where we stop, and we will just tell our women that working those kind of environments, and you're like, not only are you having those kind of emotionally effect, or mentally unstable because of where you're working, and you're just giving your best into that business. You're really like providing that business whatever they need, because you don't want that company to go down because of you. You're just giving all your best, treating that to work like it's yours. But the funny part is that we are being treated worse. For me, where I used to work, I had a very big fight with my male partner, and I could just try to explain to my boss in another way, like not directly, because I thought maybe if I do that, he will lose his job. And someone that I have known for maybe 4 or 5 months, and I know where he is from, I know what he wants to do with his life, and he was a student, and I couldn't really tell my boss. I don't know what's wrong with women with just like chilling out and keeping some secrets to themselves, but I felt like I couldn't really say or tell on him to my boss. I just, chilled out, and we talked, but we didn't really like conclude it and say that maybe this and this should happen because of that and that. And I felt like maybe I should just chill out and just, keep quiet for that. But I can imagine thousands of women in this nation who are working those kind of places have been quiet for more than 4 or 5 times. Maybe their boss have assaulted them, their male partners, and or or any other person, or any other person, meaning that maybe other women who are assaulting other women in those businesses. You never know. Maybe a boss who is a woman is treating other women like they are not supposed to be a living thing, that are supposed to be working there and feeling comfortable working there and giving their best so that they can feel okay, and maybe wake up a day and say, maybe this is where I belong. This is my job. I should love it. I should be happy. I should really like do it with all my best. But we find so many of those things happening, and we are like, okay, I am quiet about that. We see other women being treated badly. We women, we see other women be treated badly, and we are like, maybe it's her fault. Maybe she did that and that. I know maybe that could be her fault, but are you as a woman, are you really like guiding that woman to be like, okay, Maybe you deserve to feel like you're working in a very safe place. You deserve to feel like you're working in a very healthy environment, and that's okay for you to do mistakes and will like change them. But rather than will like criticizing them, body shaming them, and you find those kind of things that are happening, we fellow women are the one doing worse to our fellow gender, and it's so bad, and it's so wrong, when you find a woman doing something horrible and you're like ni maisha yake, that kind of thing, and you're like, what are we doing? What am I doing? Am I bringing any change to that kind of environment? I know most of them don't want to hear, oh my god, you have done wrong, but just do your best and just like um trying to make a change. It's not a huge one, make a small scale one, and it's so awesome when you feel like another woman is really thriving and really like being successful because you played a part on that bigger change, and we're like not just kukanyangia na useme okay, it's her life, she's gonna do that. No, just trying to make a small change, not must a big one, a small one, and helping these women who are working in a very toxic place is as bigger scale that we could really wish as the world to be better, and to those bosses who are women too, I think when femicide is really happening, and it doesn't really start at home ati ni kwa familia ama kokote, but kwenye tunafanya kazi pia, are you really like protecting yourself? Are you protecting those women who are working there? Are you protecting your fellow gender that is really giving their best to that business? You forget that maybe they have sacrificed so much. They have left their babies at home, their families, and they have just come here to work for you. Are you treating them with respect? Are you treating them with all these beautiful things that they deserve to have, rather than body shaming them, criticizing them, or judging them? Are you giving them a freedom to be themselves, to be who they want to be in those workplaces, rather than like giving them hard time to like work and just feel like they are going to their jobs the next morning, and they're like, I don't really feel okay going to my job the next morning because my boss has been treating me like, like a very bad thing. And um we have we have had cases that women have been raped in their workplaces. We have had cases that women have been killed in their workplaces. We have had those cases that women have been have gotten, those kind of bad things in workplaces. Bad things have happened to women in their workplaces. Maybe one was pregnant, and they have given birth in their workplace, and the baby was dead, and that and that and that, and that's something that shouldn't happen in your workplaces. As a boss, are you really happy? Are you really like giving these women the freedom of communication? Like call them in a meeting, and ask them, is this company providing you with the need that you want? Are you having your moments of life here? Are you happy working? Because most of those people who are working for more than 20 years in a company, that's like half of their lives, and that half of their lives should be something memorable. You're gonna work for a company for a year, and you're like, you never did anything that is there, that you could say that maybe this is what I did in my 20th years of working, and I felt the need of going back there and working for more of 10 or 5 years, and I loved it, rather than like pushing that negativity into them and showing them that they are not supposed to be working there, and making them feel like they don't deserve whatever that was there for them, and giving them that hard time. Guys, are you working a toxic place? How are you really like coping up with everything? Are you really like happy where you're working? Are you happy with whatever the job that you have been doing for the longest time? And yes, it can be pretty hard to find a job that you're 100% okay with it, but as I always say, we are humans. We are social human beings. We rely on each other. We rely on others' approval sometimes, but that shouldn't be something that is caging you into whatever you want to be. So Are you happy with where you're working from? Are you successfully happy and mentally stable with whatever kind of a job that you're doing, guys? Yes, that's all I had for today. Thank you for listening. I am Lina Mutoni. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. I love you, people.